हरि सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धे भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं Yes, can someone recollect anything that we saw last? So we form the link and move ahead. Yes, anybody? Yes, Nidhi Yes, please.
We studied about the two divisions of Prakriti, the Apara
Ji.
and the Para, and
Ji.
the eightfold division of the Apara Prakriti.
Ji. Yes. It is considered inferior, isn't it, compared to the higher one?
Higher one. Yeah,
The higher
the
one
Para
is that which
Prakriti.
becomes that which is the source of the life energies.
Yes.
All right. Yes, Ji. That was one introduction. So Prakriti has been introduced as if it is imposing certain binds on us. Yes, please.
The Vedic sound Om.
Yeah. Pranavaha sarva vedeshu. So Krishna is saying, you can identify me in the brilliance of the best and the brightest things, in the most wonderful things. He shares that I am there in the or the sound of the creation. I am in Om. I am also in the purest fragrance. Yes, Nidhi, you would like to add something? Anything else?
And when man is hoodwinked by the Maya,
Yes.
he is unable to see me.
So there is something called Maya. Where is this Maya? It is there in the universe. Because of this Maya, man is unable to see the Creator's presence or feel or perceive the presence of the Creator in the world. So far, what we have been introduced is this Maya is preventing us from realizing because of these gunas which have been introduced, something like Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva. Let us not worry what are these, because Krishna is going to introduce us in detail to the three gunas, and once he introduces us, they will not leave us. Up to the 18th chapter, it's going to go on, and he will not stop. Everywhere we will see links of three gunas. But there are these three gunas, is what Krishna is saying, and man gets trapped up or caught up in this, what we call the impositions of Prakriti, which work through us in the form of gunas. Each of us has one nature, isn't it? So it would be either sattvic or rajasic or tamasic or a combination of those three, and sometimes we are trapped in our own creation of our own behaviors, our own sanskaras, whatever we are creating. That becomes a trap. But whatever it is, it prevents us from realizing the divine. Has Krishna so far dismissed the entire world as a Maya which has to be let go? Has he rejected the world? So far, at least, what we have seen. No, isn't it? But he says there is something in the world which confuses people, which hoodwinks people, which prevents the individuals from realizing the truth. So, no doubt, it is dangerous. Yes, Mitaji wants to say something.
Uh, am I right in I was not present yesterday, but I heard the
Yeah.
thing. He says, I'm in the desire for upholding the dharma. Uh,
Yes,
that desire, I feel he approves, right?
yes, it is the one desire to uphold Dharma. It is the desire which will allow us to progress. What is Dharma? Which is a beautiful term. It is a sacred connecting link from the individual to the collective. Everybody is bound by that. And when you are trying to uphold this for the greater, Krishna has been telling us that only, isn't it? It's not that he has deviated. Why is Arjuna going to rise and fight? Why is Krishna asking him to fight? For earning more property, more material wealth? No, for upholding dharma. Kurukshetra is called a Dharma Kshetra. Each of us have our own dharmas. And sometimes it becomes confusing because we have so many dharmas which appear contrasting. They appear to be clashing. Well, that is also Maya, which is confusing us at those times. We have to learn to see through. And there is something very interesting, but which will be shared in 18th Adhyay by Krishna, which will answer all these what we call questions of Dharma Sankata. We get worried, we get confused. What is my Dharma? That is called Dharma Sankata. Not able to understand what is to be done. Well, there is a simple trick also for that. That will unfortunately not come right now. It will come in the 18th Adhyay. So we'll have to stretch ourselves a bit until that last chapter. But now he has introduced us. He says, when one is hoodwinked by these three gunas, the supreme, imperishable existence can never be known. You will never be able to. Tell me, what paradise will a drunkard want? What is the vision of paradise of a drunkard? Anybody?
Free booze.
Unlimited booze, isn't it? That is Swarga. That is all he can think of because the mind, which is driven only by desires, cannot cross beyond the desires. That is the Maya of the desire. They feel they are getting Swarga every time they get some realization of high emotional experiences or high sensory experiences. They feel that they have attained the highest, but we all know these are limitations. But this is the sammohana of Maya. So that's something which does not allow us to ever see the higher truth, a truth which is imperishable, a truth which is sanatan, a truth which is shashwat, which is pure, that cannot be realized. So let's continue. We will see the 14th adhyay, 14th shloka of the 7th adhyay. Let's continue. Krishna gives something more about the Maya here. Devi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. This is Maya. Krishna says, this is Maya, the illusion divine that engulfs every creation of mine. Crossing over beyond the veil can very hard be, but only by surpassing it can one approach me. So that's the veil, the cloak of illusion, which prevents a person from realizing. It engulfs whom? It engulfs every creation of mine. Every single one of us are going to be engulfed by these, what we can say, rays, or how do we understand? These are waves or some kind of a cloak of Maya, which is preventing us from realizing. And it's very hard to cross, is what Krishna says. Crossing over beyond the veil can very hard be, but only by surpassing it can one approach me. Maya metam tarantite. You want to reach the divine, you'll have to penetrate this trap or this veil of Maya. You heard of this, isn't it? All that glitters is not gold. Well, the Upanishad talks about gold also. Gold appears like it is so beautiful and so perfect, but sometimes in there's a beautiful verse in the Isha Upanishad which says, Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam pushanam apavruno satya dharmaya drishtaye. To understand Satya Dharma, you have to not get carried away even by gold also. The truth, the truth is covered. It's like in a vessel. It is like in a vessel covered with a lid. So the vessel is golden, the lid is also golden. Because you see it, you feel it is everything. But no, you have to penetrate that, you have to break it. Tattvam Pushanam Apabruno Satya Dharmaya Drishte, then you will be able to experience the highest truth. So in at least we can just understand this that what we perceive sometimes can be wrong. Can we not take this much as a what we can say minimal take home point that everything we perceive need not be the highest truth, isn't it? Agreed or not? I mean, I want to perceive the truth. I aspire to perceive the truth. I am sincere in my quest for truth, but that does not mean everything I perceive will be the truth. If we even understand and open up to a potential of a truth which is beyond me, then there is a greater chance for us to not get trapped. Otherwise, what I see only is truth, what I experience only is truth. That is another trap of Maya. That is something which we can see. Krishna says, Namam dushkrutino mudhaha prapadyante naradhamaha mayapa hritajnana asuram bhava mashritaha. The foolish and the evil do not attain me, for in their bewilderment, the truth they do not see. Disillusioned by Maya, they resort to base means, governed by the lower nature of the demonic realms. I repeat again, the foolish and the evil do not attain me, for in their bewilderment, the truth they do not see. Disillusioned by Maya, they resort to base means, governed by the lower nature of the demonic realms. This is the Asuri Swabhava, the Asuri nature, which makes a person run after their own desires. They get trapped in Maya and they feel their desires are everything. And they never attain the truth. It is just like an addict. An addict is always lost. Many times, addict are not all addicts are not alone when they start the addiction, isn't it? But most of the time, if they go too ahead on that path, they always end alone. Most beloved ones, everybody leave them because they have now got bewildered. They are no more the same individuals. They have got governed by the lower forces. That is what Krishna is saying. It's interesting how even the seekers, they walk on one of the selected paths only, even on the spiritual path. It's like people walk in different ways, Krishna has said, but generally they walk in one of the four ways, is what Krishna says. Let's look at this. Chaturvidha bhajante mam janaha sukruti arto jignasurartharthi jnani cha bharatarshava. Amongst the pure ones, not the Naradhamas, not the ones who are running after desire, among the seekers who have purified themselves, what are they doing? Amongst the pure ones who their devotion offer fourfold are the ones who to me surrender. The suffering, the seekers of greater good, the knowledge seekers and devotees by whom I am understood. So the four types of seekers who try to understand and probably get an understanding of the divine. They are one who try to see the divine through suffering. In the sufferings of the world, I have to realize the divine. That is the path. Some people choose that spiritual path. Through suffering, I will understand what the divine is. The seekers of greater good, karma yogis. I will keep trying to do great things. I'll keep trying to do better things, and through that, I will understand the divine. That is the second path. Third, through knowledge. I will receive the knowledge. I will receive the highest knowledge. I will introspect. I will even go after what is the Brahman. I will try to experience the Brahman and I will seek that and realize it. That is the path of knowledge that some people choose. And another one, and the devotees or the bhaktas by whom I am understood. So, the bhaktas also, through bhakti, my love and adoration for the divine, I will try to understand the divine through bhakti, through a shraddha, through a love which is absolutely purest, without any expectations. So, this is one of the four ways that people pass towards the divine, the path that they choose towards the divine. One of the four. Krishna goes on further. He says, yes, Mitaji wants to say something, is it?
I didn't
Yes.
understand the path of suffering. So, do you
Yeah,
suffering? It means on yourself or in others that you see
through
in the
others,
divine
Yourself.
suffering in the world, through the suffering
word.
in the world.
Word. Okay.
There is also one type of bhakti which is called viraha bhakti. which says, I have now separated from the divine. And then they keep crying that I will never experience. I am away from the divine, I'm away. That's also a type of suffering which people induce themselves, but that is also a path which people choose. So Krishna has not said this path to take or this path to take. He's normally people go on one of these four paths as per the Swabhava. Nidhi is saying something. Is it?
Yeah, how are the devotees different from knowledge seekers and seekers of greater good?
So generally, we can say no, the people of great, if you look at it on a very deeper note, these paths, and if you look at it, especially in Sri Aurobindo's light, you will not see these three different paths as separate. The path of knowledge, the path of karma, and the path of bhakti. But otherwise, overall, if you put a stamp on a person, a lot of people are there, hey, don't talk to me about bhakti or anything else. I believe in action. I will do this action. I'll focus on the works. Don't give me much of gyan also. I don't need knowledge. I'll just do my work. I'll receive through my knowledge. I don't need anybody to tell me. No advice is nothing to me, please. I'll keep doing my works continuously. That's the path of action, isn't it? But again, actions you need knowledge. You need to be devoted in your action. That's a different story. But overall, the person's path is like that. The second path is again the path of knowledge. People through just from it is a jignasu, those who really want to experience through knowledge, they try to understand. They say, I will experience. I will keep understanding the higher truth. I will observe, I'll understand, I will experience through truth. I'll keep raising my standard of knowledge and wisdom. I'll keep rising it, and get a realization. So that's the path of knowledge. And another is the path of bhakti. Through devotion, they say, I don't need knowledge, I don't need I don't need, some people say, I don't even need action. Whether it's exactly what Krishna has asked or not is a different story. But that is a path, isn't it? So many people walk on that path. So that is one more path which people choose. Is that okay, Nidhi? Yeah, let's continue.
Thank you.
तेषां ज्ञानी नित्ययुक्त एव भक्तिर्विशिष्यते प्रियो हि ज्ञानिनोत्यार्थम् aham sacha mama priya. Amongst them he is the Noah who is in divine union. With a single-minded devotion, he engages in my communion. And to that wise knower, I am most dear, and to me too, he is most beloved and near. This is what Krishna is saying. Now he talked about the four, but he says among the paths, he says there are those individuals. Amongst them is the knower who is in divine union, who is in a state of yoga, who is no more separated from the divine, not a single moment. He chooses to be away from the divine. My question is, how many of us want divine to be with us in all moments? Everybody. Yes, or sometimes we feel, अरे थोड़ा अभी नहीं, अभी नहीं. When some desires come in, some kind of personal swartha comes in, that time we ourselves get disengaged from that divine, isn't it? We might be having a lot of chintan, lot of manan, lot of shraddha in the divine, but suddenly, not now. Or some moments we just forget the presence of the divine. But this is not the case of this bhakta who is at all times. Every single moment. Which is the moment which is not divine? Which is the moment which we can think which is not belonging to the divine? Well, there is no moment. So this person realizes it and is always in that communion. With a single minded devotion, he engages in my communion. It's almost like he's having a dialogue, and the presence of the divine is accompanying, like a kavach or like a cocoon. That sadhak is surrounded by the divine, and his love is so beautiful. A single minded devotion that he is carrying at all times, whether it's friends or whether alone, with your most closest person or your biggest foe, whoever may be the person, whatever may be the moment, the presence of the divine is not lost by this individual, not for a second. One moment, I think we'll let better lose the connection with that audio. Yes, please. And to that wise knower, I am most dear, and to me too, he is most beloved and near. Krishna says, see that person, he realizes this. He realizes it. I am so close to him, according to him. Well, he says, according to me, he is close to me, is what Krishna says. That individual who is able to be in that connection with the divine at all moments. One person had asked, it was a person who was a young student, a college student, had asked a wonderful question. Now that we're studying the Gita, can I go for a party or not? Because this is actually a very practical question for that student. So, what is the answer? Anybody? Yes, yes, of course, at all moments. Only I said you take Krishna with you, then watch it. You will really vibe very well, and you will not do anything nonsense also. Because that presence, that smaran of the divine is something which we can definitely carry in all moments. It is definitely, it elevates our life experience. He says, to that wise knower, I am most dear, to me too. He is most beloved and near. Krishna goes on, Udaraha sarva evaite, jnanitvat maiva me matam, asthitaha sahi yuktatma, mameva nuttamam gatim. All these beings are most definitely worthy, but amongst them I consider him most noteworthy, who seeks my union as his life's ultimate ambition, for he dwells in the awakened self's condition. So Krishna says all these beings who are doing sadhana, who are, taking those efforts to control, to exercise their self control, to not be carried away by desires. These are all noteworthy beings, each one trying to, undo the powerful force of Prakriti and trying to not get trapped in that Maya, which is so alluring. Well, they are noteworthy, definitely. But he says most noteworthy is that individual. Who is that? Oh, that person who seeks my union as his life's ultimate ambition, for he dwells in the awakened self's condition. This is what Krishna is saying because that person has taken the entire ambition of life is what? Well, I want to become one with the divine. I want to experience the divine. I want to realize the divine. Nothing more than that. That ambition, Krishna says, he dwells in the awakened self's condition. Anybody has heard of some bhaktas who are one with the divine, who have achieved that ambition? Who is the, if I were to ask a question, who is the greatest bhakta of Krishna? Anybody? Who is Krishna's greatest bhakta?
Radha?
Okay, Mitaji says Radha. Anybody else?
Sudama.
Yes? Abhiji, Abhaji? Yes?
Sudama. Sudama.
Sudama, Radha. Okay,
Mirabai.
Meera, Kunalji has written, and Shobhaji also has written Meena, Meerabai. Yes. So there are so many names, but nobody said their own name, no? Isn't it? In a children's batch, a very mischievous boy who was always we have a Krishna's Butler batch for kids, children's batch. Who is greatest bhakta? One very mischievous boy said, I am the greatest bhakta. Look at the confidence. Because that is a very sweet, sincere aspiration. Maybe mischievous, not yet fully realized, but that is a possibility, isn't it? Why not? Why not? Why not we try to reach that ideal? So these are all great examples that we have. Well, this is the greatest, is what Krishna is saying, and we say low aim is a crime. So why not? Let us try. I am the greatest. I mean, we don't have to go announcing everywhere because then forces are at play. They'll immediately, try to make us. What is bhakta means? Meaning of bhakta is what? The one who is connected, no, with the divine. If you lose the connection, you become vibhakta. You are disconnected. So the very aspect of connecting is something which we can really strive for. And Krishna says that person. That's the ambition of life. What do you want to do in life? Everybody says, I want to do this. This is my profession I have chosen. This is my. The ambitions are so many. Man's ambition is having no limit. But then those ambitions still appear small at the end of a lifetime sometimes. Even if the ambition is realized, it feels, theek hai, all right, it's nothing. But here is one ambition which we'll never run out of that motivation to become the divine or to become one with the divine. And so many great saints over the years have experienced this. They have experienced a divine life. Let's aspire for the same. That's what Krishna says. Why? Because such a person dwells in a state of awakening. For he dwells in the awakened self's condition. That's what Krishna is saying. Krishna goes on further. He says, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudevaha Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. I repeat this sloka once more. It's a very interesting one. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudevaha Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. After many successive births, can this fortune arise? When the divine is perceived through the mortal's eyes. Very rare and blessed indeed is that seeking soul who experiences the divine's omniscience as a whole. So, this is something, means the ability to perceive or even to see the presence with mortal eyes. That seems crazy, isn't it? It seems not possible, but yes, it is possible, is what Krishna is saying. It sometimes takes several births for a soul, but he says it is a very special blessing. Very rare and blessed is that seeking soul who experiences the divine's omniscience as a whole. First thing is at least we should seek, isn't it? Because somebody who seeks can only find. Only the seeker will find. If a person is not seeking, how will the experience ever come? And Krishna has not said that somebody is not qualified to receive the experience, or somebody will receive it only at this time, or this person is not pure enough, or this person is not, nothing of that sort. It is just the intensity of the aspiration. And when can it happen? It can happen anytime. Sri Aurobindo's beautiful experience was there in the Alipur jail. If I don't know, had I shared it in the group anytime during this workshop? The experience of sharing. Okay, then just I had written it in poetry. I'll just share the experience. But he literally got this experience of Vasudevam Sarvamiti. When he was in the solitary confinement in that prison, it was a very famous Alipur conspiracy case where the Britishers wanted him hanged because young Subhash Chandra Bose and all those other freedom fighters were reading his words and filled with fire. A very big youth movement was going on that time, and they were all going to work for liberating the country. So that time he was most dangerous person, so they wanted him. So they put him in a 6 by 9 solitary cell, and he was probably they had decreed that he will be hanged. And in that difficult moment, and especially for a freedom fighter who wants to work for the freedom of the country, it looks like a very difficult time. He was very confused. He was Sri Aurobindo himself admitted, I did not understand what is the role. But there in that prison, he got the experience of Vasudeva. And then everything changed. His experience made him so calm that when the hearing was taking place, he was out of the world only. He was just watching everything. He said, Vasudeva is the prosecution, Vasudeva is in the audience also. Vasudeva was the guards who were guarding the cell. Vasudeva was there in the grating, the rough blanket, which was not even a blanket, it was like a coarse rug which was given to him. That also felt like Madhava's arms holding him, is what he said. That experience suddenly, you know, pulled him out of the frustration or any kind of whatever. He said he was at the end of his limits of the mind and he got an entry into the world which is beyond the mind. And then his journey started. That experience made him leave the entire freedom struggle and focus onto another direction which was given to him. Krishna gave that direction to him, is what he said. Everybody was confused. By normal progression, nobody would leave such a prime position during this freedom struggle also. All those who went to the jail and who came out became even greater freedom fighters after coming out. He was already on the top. He was given the post of the president. And yet, no, he just turned it off and went to some place like Pondicherry, which was just nothing but a village where there was nothing absolutely. He could have gone anywhere else. But that was the place it was chosen and his direction started. So he is one of those saints who is not from so far away also, who actually got that experience. And that experience has been documented, and his prison cell has become a pilgrimage center for thousands of people. They go there and make it a point to go to that same jail where Sri Aurobindo was, trapped there. So that is the experience. Krishna says it is very rare for an individual, but after several births, that opportunity arrives. Can we take a guarantee that my birth is not this birth when I will get the realization? Do we know that what we have done in the last several births? No, we don't know. This could be our birth for getting that experience. We don't have to worry or wait, and we don't have to run after that also. It will come to us when we are ready. But one of the beautiful things is Vasudevam Sarvamiti, meaning Vasudeva everywhere, not only in my best friend. No, Vasudeva cannot be in that person who's irritating me. No, he can be in every single person. But to get that samatha and the drishti is important. When you have that bhava, the experience shall come to us, and it is very much possible. We really have to take that pledge inside our heart, not to anybody else, not to even orally speak it. Keep it secret, keep it silent. Let nobody in the world know about it also. But aspire firmly and strongly, and it shall happen. Experiences are meant to be taken, and they are waiting for every seeker to take it. It is just the adhikar. The adhikar comes from the tapasya or the intensity of the aspiration of the sadhak. Let us continue. Krishna goes on. He says, कामैस्तैस्तैर्हृतज्ञानाः प्रपद्यन्ते अन्यदेवताः तं तं नियमम् आस्थाय प्रकृत्या नियतः स्वया. By various outer desires, many seekers are misled, who to fulfill their desires seek a personal Godhead, and the demigods by conditions and rules they bind arbitrarily based upon the nature of their mind. So this is one very interesting. Mind is limited, no? So mind brings logical limitations. And then that logical limitations of mind, which are human, we use that to try to bind the gods only with our mental limitations. This is just the way of humans. He says, by various outer desires, many seekers are misled, who to fulfill their desires seek a personal godhead, and the demigods by conditions and rules they bind arbitrarily based upon the nature of their mind. ये मेरी परीक्षा नहीं है तो मेरे भगवान की परीक्षा है. This is the dialogue people say. And then the entire the one who is going to take a person through the Mrityu Sansara Sagar, he is told that this Murti will now remain in the water. This will not come till this problem is solved. I am not going to, as if we are going to drown the divine. Can man be so powerful? But these are all different arbitrary assignments people put on the divine, binding according to the conditions created inside of the mind, driven by desires. That is how people basically the entire foundation of these prayers are desires only. This is what Krishna is saying. Many people run up. Sometimes, no, it's like temples are very beautiful places to go. But sometimes in the big crowds, it becomes very difficult. It's almost as if we can also hear the disturbance of so many minds. One person is saying, God, God, please, please, please let it rain heavily. His neighbor is coming and saying, no, no, please, please let it not rain. My business will suffer if it rains. So what is God going to do? Give rain to one house, next house is not going to give rain. But these are all limitations of human mind, which you know, bind the gods also in that. That's what Krishna is saying. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhayarchitumicchati tasya tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham. Krishna says, whatever form of mind that the devotees choose, their devotion to me, I do not refuse. I ensure that their confidence remains firm and their faith in their desired forms I only affirm. Again, Krishna says, whatever form of mind that the devotees choose, their devotion to me, I do not refuse. Whatever form you may seek, Krishna says, He is not the one who's going to get disturbed. How dare you pray to that God? How dare you pray to this? Nothing. He says, I just see the devotion. If it's there, whichever form. If you imagine Krishna with two horns, he'll say, okay, ठीक है, I have two horns. For you, I will have two horns, he says. I will not refuse that devotion. He says, in fact, he does the opposite. Instead of refusing, he says, I ensure that their confidence remains firm and their faith in their desired forms, I only affirm. He says, I again give more shraddha and make that person more confident in that, whichever form he is choosing. Now, is Krishna trapping us in one more Maya? Why is he doing this then? He says, if you have a particular desire of divine being like this and you are seeking, he says, I do not refuse. Instead, I might even give a darshana. Like I said, Krishna with two horns, I might, if I'm sincerely seeking, I might get a darshana also. What is this? Isn't this taking me for a ride because I am devoted? Or what is the purpose? Anybody?
Yeah, because I think there is a saying now that the divine gives you what you want so that you will want what he wants to give. So I
Okay, that's
think
a very
it's that,
interesting one.
you
Shwetaji has said the divine gives you what you want so that you will start wanting what he wants to give. Okay, that's a beautiful one. Okay, you can just share it in the group also, Shwetaji. It will be something nice for everybody to take home. Nitiji is saying something, or it was Shobhaji first? Anybody? Yes, please. Okay, Shobhaji?
Hey, he's just saying any path you take, if it is the righteous path, you can visualize him to be in any form. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It is the devotion and the sincerity which matters.
Okay. So for him, the devotion is that which matters. Yes. And Nidhiji is saying something. Yes, please.
I think he's pointing out that even if you may worship me as Allah or Jesus or Sikhism or any form, the God is
Hmm.
one, and He may be in
Okay.
any form. Like in Arismaji, we don't do Murti Puja, we do Havan, and in Krishna or Shiva, we do
Yeah.
it in the that puja. So you may take it in
Yes.
any form, but whatever form you seek, I will appear in that form
He
and
says
fulfill your devotion.
he makes your uh, path. You makes you more confident about going in that path.
Yeah.
Is he not creating a collision course of so many people then, each on different forms and
No, he's saying
different?
that I am there. You just seek me and you will achieve
Okay.
me.
Okay. All right, Nidhiji. Nidhi says he is saying that so that you have to seek the divine and you'll ultimately reach. Well,
No,
let us see. Yes, Nishabaji is saying something.
the conflicts are man-made.
They're
We are
not
not
God
really
made.
Yes, understood. Yes.
Okay. All right. And it's like I remember in the previous place where I used to stay, one young boy came to me and he said, why are you? He came to know I was doing something related to the Gita and he was very angry. He said, why are you worshipping Krishna? He's not so powerful at all. Worship Shiva. I saw a video online how much more powerful he is. I said, oh, really? Which video was that? And then he just went on. I didn't want to disturb his thinking. I said, okay, but I read one shloka in the Gita, which is very confusing me. Rudranam Shankaraschasmi. I am Shankara among the Rudras. And he says he's one. And that he was not ready to listen. He's like, go, I'm not talking to you. He didn't want to talk much to me after that because now that's disturbing his faith, isn't it? He wants to have that. Well, one thing is there. We will see later on also whether desires are good or not. But when you are having certain aspirations from the divine, sometimes the divine gives them also to you. And the next shloka, we will see why he does it. Krishna tells us, he says, Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktas Tasya Radhanam Ihate Labhate cha tatah kaman mayaiva Vihitan hitan. He says, why? Because enthused with this faith, his devotion he pursues, and a force in his worship I then infuse. Even though through faith objects he seeks, when fulfilled, they are my fruits that he keeps. I just repeat this once more. Enthused with a faith, enthused with this faith, his devotion he pursues, and a force in his worship I then infuse. Even though through faith
Good day.
objects he seeks, when fulfilled, they are my fruits that he keeps. Krishna says this that means when that Shraddha is fulfilled for a bhakta, what is the experience? What does the bhakta feel? He gets overwhelmed, isn't it? This wow, he's listening to me, so I'll offer more. I'll offer with little more Shraddha. Let me become more sincere. Let me move that way. At least an evolution takes place slowly. Because it's always dynamic, no? The growth also, it's not static. What I experience today is based off my understanding and experience what I have got today. When my experience grows, tomorrow it will be something else. It might evolve more. Same as a person's Shraddha also. It's like it starts slowly, 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 it grows on and then completely engulfs a person. So he says, it's all right, chalta hai, he says, whatever it is. I give a force to his Shraddha. Even though through faith objects he seeks, when fulfilled, they are my fruits that he keeps. Like a friend of mine, he really wanted God's intervention to go on a date. Whether it is a Sakam Prarthana or a Nishkam Prarthana. And his Prarthana was only that much. He did not have anything, he'll make things work out between me and her, nothing of that sort. So this aspect was just one small temporary thing which he wanted. And you will not believe he got that. He got that and he was so happy that he forgot about everything else. He didn't really care what happens there or afterwards. Also, nothing worked out afterwards. That's a different story. But he's like, God, listen to my smallest, useless little prayer. How can I not worship the divine? Henceforth, now I am in surrender. I will surrender completely. How many people have had this kind of turn towards the divine? Through a little prayer, a small prayer, God, if you truly are there, please, please do this. This is really difficult. It's a Sakam Prarthana. It is a Prarthana with desire. Normally, everywhere Krishna tells best prayers are without desires. But even if these prayers are there, they get an experience. They get an experience, and that experience then becomes a turning point of their life. Different people have found their gurus, they have found the divine's marga also through small such experiences. And Krishna himself, he says, I give those experiences so that the uddhara of the bhakta takes place, the growth of the bhakta takes place, and that individual goes. He said, it's all right, he's keeping fruits, but hey, I have given it. The parent can give the child, isn't it? The child is crying for chocolate too many times. Acha bete, le lo. Quiet. Now. The parent gives it. It is just like that. The divine is also taking care. But what about these fruits? How are they? Krishna has told, isn't it? Karmanya vadikaraste mam phaleshu kadachana. Now, is he going to break that rule for prayers only? Or do you think it will apply for the prayers also? Anybody? Yes. By logic, should it apply for the prayers also? If he's
It
saying
should not.
Karma Yoga is there. Yes, anybody?
It should not.
Abaji says it should not. That is what we want, of course. But unfortunately, it is the same, isn't it? Samatha. Then Krishna cannot teach us samatha if he does not practice it himself. So in prayers also, these prayer fruits that we are seeking,
So every
prarthanas.
time, whether
Yes, Abaji.
every time he will fulfill our wish if we pray.
No, but these fruits also, it is like we should be sometimes it's said, be careful what you wish for, no? A person was wishing for transfer. No matter what, I want transfer. I want transfer. He kept doing a prarthana and he got a transfer. Then the prayer was like, hey Bhagavan, why did you give me transfer? This place is much better, I mean, much worse than where I was. Let me come back. Because minds, nature is so limited that our desires are also limited. Like I said, I had a very dumb desire when I was a schoolboy. I wanted to open a hotel so I get free food. What is this desire? It is the desire of an immature and a small mind which is not formed at all. But that is a desire which is, if you ask me now, that desire is no more inside of me, isn't it? That desire is only expired. Like that, how many desires of ours are long, lasting long? Can anybody think of one desire which is going to last for, say, 30 decades, 40 decades? Any desire? 40 decades, 50 decades? I think Indraji is saying no voice. Everybody's able to hear my voice? Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you. Yes, so many times desires are having a limited, what we call expiry date, like we get in packages, no? Manufacturing date, expiry date. The manufacturing date of desire is, the expiry date may vary. Some desires stretch long, but if their desires are based on our foundation is not strong. Yes, Kalaji, please tell me.
No, our desire for good health never
Hmm. Desire for good health.
is always there, right? It's never.
It's always there inside. But does that guarantee a good health always?
No, doesn't. But
That does
does
not.
desire last for 5 decades, 6 decades? It
Uh-huh.
does.
The desires, but then that's a lifetime. If you look at it, if five,
Yeah.
6 decades, it may last. But we can say these are aspirations which we have. Like Krishna says, there's one desire for Loka Sangra that can stay forever. So some exceptions may be there. But overall, if we just look at it, generally, most of the desires, they are time bound. And that's the problem Krishna says in the very next sloka. Because the fruits, when we make prayers asking for desires, give me this, give me that. Even desire for good health, if you see many geriatric people I've seen, they've said, I've had enough of good health now. I want to complete my journey. In 80s and 90s, some of them have said, my journey is now complete. I want to go to the next journey. Kalaji is saying something. Yes, please.
That can come in earlier also. It need not necessarily be in your
Okay.
80s or 90s.
Yeah, but that's
I'm ready
complete.
to go. I'm ready to go, but how? That's what the fear for everyone.
How? Okay, that will be an interesting thing. Eighth chapter is going to be talking about that journey. Krishna is going to end this chapter on that note with a small touch of the final journey, and that's where Arjuna suddenly asks his questions about it. And there's going to be a transformation in Arjuna. But yes, let us just go back to this shloka where Krishna is talking about the phala. Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavatyalpa medhasam devan devayajo yanti mad bhakta yanti mamapi. But these fruits are temporary and do not last long, for their founding reasons are petty and not strong. So I think Kalaji's point comes, the founding reason should be strong. Having a good body or a good health is something which is, why do you need it? What is the need? Well, I want it for doing service to the world, or I want to do for Loka Sangra, then it becomes in perfect sync with the yogic tenets, isn't it? Shariram Adhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Your first duty is towards your body. You have to take care of it. Then you're upholding that duty. So the foundation of your desire is important. Foundation of desires which when two people come together. Again, what is that founding desire that is bringing them together? If the foundation is strong, then it will last long. But if the foundation is not, most desires are having, most prayers, sakam prarthanas, I want this, we make prayers very strongly. And then after that prayer is granted, also we feel not, this not enough, it's not got fulfilled. And again, something else comes up. That is something here Krishna is saying. These fruits are temporary and do not last long. So it's better not to have sakam prarthana. Because we don't know, isn't it, what we need in the future? Or sometimes we don't know what is best for us also. Today, something may be very important for me. 10 years later, it may not be. When I was in college, there was nothing more in life than I wanted to be a badminton player. Absolutely nothing. Morning, afternoon, evening, that was the only thought. If you were asked if I got a genie who was going to grant me a wish, that time I would have asked something which was driven by that desire only. No? But desires keep changing also. And the the prayers, when they are done with desires, they have limitation. But these fruits are temporary and do not last long, for their founding reasons are petty and not strong. Whichever demigod they worship, that demigod they obtain. But my devotees come to me, and my oneness they attain. This is a very interesting shloka. Means somebody says, I want, say a person is doing worship of a particular aradhya because they want some particular desire of, say, wealth, Kubera. Somebody is doing upasana of Kubera. Maybe that experience may come to that individual. That person may receive the wealth. But even if we understand Goddess Lakshmi's upasana, so many people do that, isn't it? Many people say, I want more money. I want more wealth. That is why I have to do the prayer. But that foundation is not right, isn't it? What is wealth? Wealth is just an expression of what? Of the divine goddess's harmony, divine goddess's beauty, divine goddess's perfection, everything. But when that is lost, you run after a particular desire, you get trapped by that. And that is not very, but you achieve something, but you go in a different direction. You go in that direction. Krishna says, but those devotees who are praying just to the divine, who are seeking the divine. Why are you praying? Because I love the divine. What do you want from the divine? I just want the sanidhya or the oneness with the divine. I don't want anything specific. These kind of prayers allow a person to transcend what are personal limited desires. So they are always considered to be Shrestha. Krishna is trying to establish the aspect of Sakam Prarthana and Nishkam Prarthana. Nishkam Prarthana is Shrestha, a Prarthana without desires. Sometimes the most powerful prayer or the strongest mantra for the divine can be Dhanyosmi. Dhanyavad. Thank you. The greatest prayer is thank you. Because you are just experiencing gratitude for what has been received to you. You have Shraddha, you have faith in the divine that what is needed will come to you. Only you want to be conscious, you want to grow. That is a very nice approach because going on that path of Nishkam Prarthana will keep you more at peace. But he's not dismissing that he's not chastising anybody who is running after desires, even in prayers. He says, it's all right, you have freedom. You are free to choose. You are free to choose your path. You are free to choose your God also. You are free to choose your prayers. You are free to choose your aspirations. Let's continue. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mama buddhayah param bhavam ajananto mama avyayam anuttamam. The minds ignorant and small consider me the unmanifest, who is limited and finite and cannot manifest. For they know not the truth of my being immutable. I am the supreme, most perfect, and imperishable. Krishna says, the minds that are ignorant and small, they consider the divine as unmanifest, who is limited, finite, and cannot wholly manifest. They know not the truth of my being immutable. I am the supreme, most perfect, and imperishable. The limited minds feel they can destroy divine. They feel divine is nothing, divine is weak, divine is non-existent. That is a limited ignorance of the human mind, which makes a person believe that. But he says, I am supreme, I am eternal, I am imperishable. Krishna is just sharing some properties of the divine to him. He says, Naham prakashaha sarvasya yogamaya samavritaha मूढ़ोऽयं नाभिजानाति loko mamajam avyayam. To all beings I am not revealed. Krishna says this. He says, I am not revealed to all beings. To all beings I am not revealed. For behind Maya's veil I am concealed. He says, I am concealed in this veil of Maya, whether or not people understand. I am there, only I am not revealed to everybody. The world is hoodwinked and bewildered. About my immortal truth, it hasn't pondered. The world is busy. The world is busy doing everything, running after its own desires. It's hoodwinked. It is in the state of Maya only. It's caught up in that Maya. It has not pondered or it has not tried to understand the truth of the divine. Because of this Maya only is what Krishna is saying. The world is driven by the desires and is lost. And that is why he is talking about letting go of our desires to experience a truth which is beyond human, a truth which is divine. I think we had a very interesting experience, all of us, when the COVID pandemic struck, isn't it? It was something which we never ever imagined could be possible. A small organism, which is like people say virus is still, people are not able to fully classify is it living or non-living. When it gets a host, it becomes alive. Otherwise, it is non-living. It is so small, so tiny. The world was project like progressed so much. We were confident of going to settling in other colonies in another world, also in another planet. Such great developments, technological, physical, all advancements had taken place on the material. And yet, suddenly, one out of syllabus question came, and everybody was shocked. It changed everything. So many plans of so many people, everything just fell apart, showing that this vulnerability is there. One of the very interesting things it taught us we are all connected. No? It thought that we are all, in a way, in a state of yoga because of our connections. And what was the greatest sadhana which was given to everybody? Don't do anything, and the world will be saved by not intervening. Stay at home. Don't come out. Well, these are all little experiences which try to tell us that there are forces which are beyond the functioning of the world. Material level forces take place, wars take place, powers, like there are accumulated power centers in the world, in the material world. Each of these play their roles according to the dynamics. There are rules of war. There is an art of war only which is being waged continuously, and so many things take place dynamically. And yet, behind the scenes, there is a force of the divine which is moving around, which is moving everything, which is causing these bigger forces which are visible to move. But there are those which are behind, and that is not seen, is what Krishna is saying. The next shloka, it's almost as if I poetically call it the sorrow of Krishna. Of course, Krishna is beyond sorrow, but this is one interesting shloka. If you see the 26th one, he says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedaha. So mam tu veda na kaschana. I repeat this. He says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjana bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu veda na kaschana. O Arjuna, the past, present, and the future of every existence, I know for sure. He says, every living person. Is everybody having an audio problem? I got one more message now. I think.
No, I
Shabash,
don't.
okay, fine. All right. Yeah, you can just let me know. Yes, please. Thank you. Uh, oh, Arjuna, the past, present, and future of every existence, I know for sure. Though I know equally about every living one, with the knowledge of my existence, there is none. I just repeat once more. Oh, Arjuna, the past, present, and future of every existence I know for sure. Though I know equally about every living one, with the knowledge of my existence, there is none. He's like a friend. He's like, I understand everybody, but nobody understands me. It is almost like that. He's saying, I know the past, I know the present, I know the future. Today I may be calling myself Sushrut. But Krishna is like, हाँ बेटे, I know your past also. Pura, I have the kacha chitta what you were doing in the last birth, and I also know what you're going to do next birth also. I know everything. But he says, I know everything about all these births. But about me, why you don't know anything? About me, why are you not understanding anything? Kalaji wants to say something. Yes, please. No, all right. Automatic. The hand got raised digitally only. Right. So this is technically it's not really the sorrow of Krishna. Krishna is always Ananda. He is in a state of bliss, but he's just pointing out to Arjuna a very simple and honest truth that I understand, meaning every single being's existence. He's Trikalatit. That is how the Brahman is described in the Vedanta. The one who is the Bhuta, Bhavishya, Vartaman, and the Kalatita also, who has transcended the three times, the space dimension, the time dimension, everything has been transcended. That is called the Brahman. And Krishna is speaking from that Brahmic consciousness. He says, I have access to your past, I have access to your present and also future. But why don't you try to? It's like, uh, can we not call it a sorrow, a type of sorrow, a divine sorrow maybe? Isn't it? And if our friend is sorrowful, what do we do then? How can we put that sorrow away? Anybody? If this is our Krishna's sorrow. Yes, Mitaji?
By reassuring him, I mean,
By
yeah.
reassuring or by trying to know him, isn't it? That's what he's saying. Nobody's trying to know me. Everybody is busy in Maya. Everybody is lost. Everybody feels they're not having time for the divine. So maybe if our friend feels a little bit left out, I think we can definitely we can try to know the divine. We can try to understand the divine. And maybe in the process of understanding, become divine also as a direct consequence of knowing the divine. So I think with this, let's stop today at shloka number 26 before I got any message or a notification in the group. Yes. So this shloka is where we stop today at shloka number 26. Krishna is introducing certain principles of Maya to Arjuna. And this Maya is what is preventing us from realizing the divine. We're getting trapped in the everyday occurrences, and I think it happens in life also sometimes, isn't it? If you just look at it, even in general life, forget the spiritual aspects. We keep doing a lot of things. And sometimes we just pull ourselves out. Hey, what am I doing? The last 1 year went just like this. I wanted this. I took up this project. I took up that project. I took up so many projects. I've been doing all of it, but I think I'm just running in circles. I need to course correct. I need to. So, when taking one step back, you can get an understanding. It is something like that in life also. That vairagya, that detachment will allow us to see the divine. Otherwise, we will not get a glimpse also. But there is a possibility. That is what Krishna is saying. Vasudevam Sarvamiti is an experience. And one who gets it is called Mahatma by Krishna himself. You don't have to ask people to call you that. Krishna himself will do that when you realize that, when you realize and see the divine. So I think with this we stop here. If anybody wishes to ask or share something, you are welcome. Otherwise, we will then look at some take-home points and then conclude with a Shanti mantra. Yes, anybody? Yes, please. Any take-home points? Anyone?
If we have to live happily, we should remember Krishna or divine. That only will help us to move forward.
Ji, ji. That's a great point. Sarita ji is saying we can really live blissfully and happily in our lives, no matter what situation is there. And one of the ways she has really given to us is that remember Krishna as a sakha, isn't it? As a friend who knows things we don't know also, and it's all right. Let's try to understand him. Let's try to remember him. So that's one point. Anything else? Anybody? Yeah.
Yeah, so in the pursuit of doing everything, we forget that one thing, which is, the most important thing. So
We
devotee's
forget the
journey.
one thing in the pursuit of doing things. Yes. What is
Yeah,
that?
we forget that one thing which is the most important thing, the divine. So,
Okay.
a devotee's journey which moves from desires, self selfishness, and seeking, whatever you want, to self purification, where then, that foundation comes. And
Yes.
then I think, yeah, then I think we try to understand that, let us be good for the sake of being good. Let us, like just have these just for the sake of, because by its virtue, like, let's
Not
just be
because we're
that,
going to
not
get
for any
some kind of,
merits. Yeah.
yeah, not some merits, not
Yeah.
some certificate or something coming to us in return. We
Yeah.
just do it.
Mhm.
One small question,
Yeah.
Shwetaji.
Loving
Can we do?
divine.
Yes. Yes, Shwetaji.
Yeah.
One question is, can we do multiple projects and still be conscious of the divine?
Yeah. Because that's a parallel consciousness, right? Like we
Yeah,
can.
isn't it?
Yeah.
We can do things. We can do. It's not about not doing things at all. It is just the way we do things. We have capacities which, if we recognize they are God-given, then we'll have to use them for whatever projects the God gives us to us in life. But let's not forget the divine when we are doing it. Because if we remember the divine, there's a very little or thin chance of doing something wrong. We'll actually we end up doing, whether we know it or not, we'll end up doing the right thing. So yes, thank you, Ashwitaji. Amitaji was adding something. Yeah,
Basically, just the prayer, the Sakam prayer and the Nishkam prayer.
Ji.
So we should be careful about what we pray. At least be conscious of what we are praying for. Like,
Yes. Conscious of what we are praying for, because, or at least if we have done a Sakam Prarthana, let's be happy with what's given to us and understand future I will not do more Sakam Prarthana instead of getting trapped, isn't it? Hey, I want somebody like this. Hey, Bhagwan, why did this person come in my life? What can we do? You have only prayed for it. Now you accept what is coming. Now try to transform yourself, and maybe in the end, the others individuals will also get transformed. We don't have to. When the Shrestha Prarthana is always a Nishkam Prarthana, meaning there's no aspect of selfishness. It will come like the divine. The divine is the greatest one who takes care of everybody's needs and requirements. They are all fulfilled. He knows what is required. It's like what you need and what you desire. You don't have to worry about it. What is needed comes to all those who seek. Just in an old age home, I remember when this was nearly a decade ago, I had gone. It was run by an auto driver who left his profession because he saw some old people on the street and he started a home. And that time when I had gone to his place, he said he would always be wondering where will I get the food from for the people. And correctly, he says, every time I would think I'm now running out, suddenly from somewhere he would come. He says he has full faith that the divine will take care and he knows it will happen. Two, three examples he had shared. So, like that, there are so many people I've seen, they're just every day of life, they're conscious. It's like difficult. Somebody would say, how can a person live this way? How can they make ends meet? How is it possible? Well, this is they don't make their ends meet. God makes their ends meet. They're not worried about anything. They're just doing what they're doing, driven by their what we can say drive, that inner drive, which is again to serve the divine. Yes, Kalaji is saying something. Yes, please.
No, I was saying, but I changed my mind.
Okay. All right. Fine, Ji.
So,
Yes.
so we are
Saritaji is
winding
saying
up.
something.
Yes,
Yeah.
two words, keywords, Shraddha and Samarpan
Okay.
will help us
Yes.
to be near divine.
Yes. These are the magic words applicable for every adhyay. Even 18th chapter, Krishna will again remind us that surrender is important. Yes, Induji is saying something, and probably
Yeah, I
then
feel
please.
gratitude is the biggest prayer, I think.
Yes. And when you have, when Mother has said, even when nothing is there, a little bit is there, it seems plentiful when you have
Yes,
gratitude.
yes. So, like the
Because-
case of the auto driver,
Yeah,
you said you just gave an example. I think it's gratitude that got him every day, got him what
yes,
he needed.
yes, absolutely. And I think that is something which is very free, easy to cultivate.
Yes.
We can all try that and just watch the transformation then. Yeah, yes, please. All right. It is actually, and we had another workshop about the God, Divine Mother. There we studied qualities. And qualities like these, they allow us to go closer to the divine because sometimes divine looks far away. You don't understand how the divine appears. You've not got a darshana, you have not got a vision. Sometimes the rupa is too ugra or too beyond the mind. You don't understand. The qualities are going to allow us to touch. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita. It is something like that. This Matru Rupena Sanstita, through the quality, the motherly affection, through the quietude, through Shakti, through the force, I can understand the presence of the divine. So, like that, this is one brilliant quality, I think, which Induji just shared to us. It's gratitude. Yes, so let us see how Krishna takes Arjuna ahead. Next chapter is going to be a very different one. It's going to be about death. How is Arjuna going to deal with it? We'll have to see. Let's see. With this, we conclude our session today. Let's conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Again, thank you everyone for your wonderful insights. Hari Om. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tatsat Krishna Vande Jagat Gurum. Hari Om Punar Milam. See you tomorrow then. Namaste. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Thank
Hari
you.
Om.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, sir. Hari Om.
Thank you, Jim. Namaskar.
Hari Om,
Thank you.
sir.
Hari Om Ji. Namaskaram.